Hey, and welcome back. We are in our series, Understanding Narcissistic Abuse and the Nervous System. Today, we are focusing on the 5 ways to help your body feel safe again after narcissistic abuse. My goal is for you to feel empowered with information and tools you can begin using right away to help your body reestablish safety as you learn how to move forward. So, let's start with this. There is a version of us the world sees. She's put together, she's reliable and well-liked. We love being the helpful one, the one people can call on, the one who gets it done. Whether it's a project at work or your kid's Halloween costume, you always pull through, you always have it together. And then there's this version of you on the inside. The tiredness that never fully goes away, the overwhelm that hits out of nowhere, the numbness, the shutdown, the fog, the way your chest tightens when someone raises their voice, or how you freeze the moment you feel misunderstood or criticized. And maybe you've had the thought, I think there's something wrong with me. But I want you to hear this clearly. There isn't anything wrong with you, not in the sense that you are thinking. The way you feel is normal and aligned with what you've lived through. Living with a narcissist impacts your entire system, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Your body is likely saying, I'm just trying to protect you. Not so much emotionally, although yes, it's more physiological. Narcissistic abuse rewires your nervous system, and today I want to explain how, so you can stop blaming yourself for responses that were never your fault, and more importantly, so you can begin the path of healing and empowerment. I am Janice Holland, a licensed therapist, and I am the trauma teacher. I'm here to help you step out of performative living, where people-pleasing and self-abandonment thrive, and into courageous living, where your voice leads, your choices align with your values, and your life finally belongs to you. I have a free guide called Finally at Peace I'd love for you to download. It's an amazing resource that walks you step by step through the survival patterns you've been living in, why they developed, and how to begin shifting your nervous system towards real, embodied safety. All right, I'm going to nerd out a little bit on the polyvagal theory. Here's the foundation you need. According to the polyvagal theory, your nervous system operates in 3 primary states. The first one is fight or flight, which is mobilized. It's movement, it's anxious. The freeze response, which is immobilized, and safe and social, which is completely regulated. In a healthy environment, your body spends most of its time in safe and social, ideally. Your breath is steady, your thoughts feel clear, your face softens, and you can connect, imagine, decide, and create. But when you've been in a narcissistic relationship, your system gets pulled between fight and flight and freeze so often that it forgets what safety even feels like. Your body learns to survive through shutting down, going numb, losing words, zoning out, foggy thinking, pulling inward, overfunctioning on autopilot. These are not personality flaws. These are polyvagal survival states. Your body isn't malfunctioning. It's doing exactly what it learned to do in order to protect you. And the only way out is helping your system feel safe again. Not by thinking differently, but by giving your body new experiences of safety. The narcissist created your current state through consistent moments of threat. You will rebuild regulation through consistent moments of safety. That's what we're going to do today. And here's something important I want to add, something women rarely talk about out loud. When your body is stuck and shut down, even the things you love feel draining. Caring for your kids, showing up for your work, being there for friends, keeping your home running, even the parts of your life you value most, they can feel heavy, obligatory, or overwhelming when your nervous system is running on survival energy. And it's confusing because nothing is wrong. You might have a good job, a good home, good people in your life, and still feel a quiet emptiness you can't explain, a sense that something is missing, a sense that life is happening around you but not through you. That's not a character flaw. That's what life feels like when you're living in freeze. Here's the deal. When your body feels safe, the life you already have becomes easier to live. The things you do for the people you love stop depleting you. You recover faster. You feel more grounded, more present, more available. And something else happens too, something most women don't realize they've lost. Desire wakes up, purpose becomes clear, and creativity starts moving again. Playfulness returns. You feel pulled toward life instead of dragged by it. You don't need a new life to feel whole. You need a regulated body that can actually experience the life you already have. When your system is safe, your energy doesn't get used up on survival. It becomes available for joy, connection, desire, purpose, creativity, all the things that make life feel complete. That's why clarity matters. That's why power matters. That's why learning to regulate your body matters, because when your body feels safe, you don't just exist, you actually live. So, here are the 5 trauma-informed, polyvagal-supported ways to help your body feel safe again after narcissistic abuse, the kind of safety that actually unlocks healing. These are simple and practical, and they work with your biology, not against it. But before we dive in, I want to say something important. So many of us who are smart, curious, high-functioning women love to consume information. We watch the video, we read the books, listen to the podcasts, highlight the articles, nod along, feel seen, and then we move on to the next thing, not because we're lazy, but because we're unmotivated, but because shutdown makes implementation feel impossible. Freeze convinces us that learning is safer than doing, and staying in our heads feels safer than dropping in our bodies. So you might hear these steps, think they're a great idea, try them for a day or two, and then slip right back into scrolling, researching, absorbing, all while still feeling disconnected from yourself. So I want to gently prepare you. You will only feel different if you actually do these practices you're going to learn today. Not perfectly, not intensely, but just consistently, because your nervous system doesn't change through insight. It changes through repetition, through predictable signals of safety, through small daily moments that teach your body over and over again, we're okay now. These steps are not about doing more. They're about doing differently. So as we go into them, I want you to think less about trying and more about training your body towards safety. With that in mind, let's begin. Number 1, give your body predictability. Narcissistic abuse trains your nervous system to expect sudden emotional whiplash. Your body stays on alert because it learned that calm never stayed calm for long. And here's the part most women don't realize. Living with a narcissist requires complete self-abandonment. It requires you to ignore your needs, override your instincts, silence discomfort, shrink your reactions, and disconnect from what your body is telling you. Your system had to shut down internal signals, not because you were weak, but because listening to them made things worse. So when I say create predictability, you're not just adding a routine, you're reteaching your body that it's allowed to have needs again. You're rebuilding a connection with yourself that had to go offline in order for you to survive. Predictability becomes medicine. Start with choosing one small thing you do every day and do it the same way. The same morning beverage, the same 5-minute stretch, the same evening ritual. Repetition tells your system, nothing dangerous just happened, we're still okay. But let's also name something important. For many women, predictability doesn't feel soothing at first. It feels super boring. It feels pointless and flat, or like you're wasting time. That reaction is not a personality quirk. It's a trauma imprint. When your nervous system is used to chaos and hypervigilance, stillness feels foreign. Routine feels suspicious. Boredom feels uncomfortable. Your body is waiting for the real problem to drop, because that's what kept you safe in the past. So if predictability feels boring or irritating, you're not doing it wrong. You're actually touching the exact place where your nervous system needs healing. And here's the deeper truth. Working through the boring is what builds the foundation for your playfulness to come back online. Playfulness, creativity, lightness, spontaneity, and joy, none of these things can exist in a body stuck in survival mode. They only return when your system feels consistently safe. Boring is not the end state. Boring is the bridge. Boring is your nervous system recalibrating so aliveness can come back. Consistency lowers vigilance, and lower vigilance equals safety. Safety is what makes energy, clarity, desire, and playfulness possible to return again. Okay, number 2, let your body complete stress cycles. One of the biggest impacts of narcissistic abuse is that your body starts survival responses it never gets to finish. You gear up to defend yourself and you get shut down. You prepare to speak and you get overpowered. You try to leave and you get pulled back in. You feel hurt and get told you're overreacting. Your system enters fight or flight, but you're forced into freeze. Over time, your body becomes filled with incomplete stress cycles, surges of adrenaline and cortisol that never got expressed, released, or resolved. That trapped energy becomes chronic tension, which feels like irritability, numbness, exhaustion, brain fog, shutdown, and that heavy, stagnant, stuck feeling you can't quite explain. This isn't just emotional, it's biological. Your body is literally holding unfinished survival response. This is exactly what Peter Levine, who's the founder of Somatic Experiencing, teaches. Trauma is not in the event. It's the nervous system that couldn't complete its response. When your body can't finish what it started, activation gets stored instead of released. This isn't about quick emotional comfort. The goal is to complete what your body never got to finish. When a survival response gets to complete, your body can finally release the tension it's been storing. That release is what leads to clarity, energy, and calm. The research is clear. These small movements help your system discharge that trapped energy. Shaking out your hands, stomping your feet, squeezing and releasing your fists, taking brisk walks for 2 to 3 minutes, wringing a towel tightly, rolling your shoulders or shaking your legs, deep exhales with sound. These seem simple, almost too simple, but they mimic the instinctive movements your body wanted to make before it was forced into shutdown. And here's what you need to understand. Completion creates safety. Your body needs to feel the difference between gearing up for threat and then releasing the activation. It needs to experience that cycle. This is how your system rewires itself from getting stuck in activation to completing the whole stress cycle. This breaks the survival habit that you learned in the relationship, and now it replays in every situation. And just like in the first step, this may feel awkward or pointless at first. Your mind probably will say, how does shaking my hands help anything? That's ridiculous. That's the freeze response talking. That's your survival mode, minimizing the very thing that would help you thaw out, get out of freeze. But when you give your body permission to complete what it couldn't complete before, you create the physiological conditions for energy, clarity, and presence to come back online. This is you unwinding survival from the inside out. All right, number 3, create one no performance zone. One of the most overlooked impacts of narcissistic abuse is how much it forces you into performance mode 24/7. Not performing in the sense of being fake, but performing in the sense of constantly managing someone else's mood, someone else's reactivity, someone else's disappointment, or the tension in the room, managing your tone, your facial expressions, your emotions, your needs. It's hypervigilance. It becomes a full-time job. Your shoulders stay tight. Your face stays neutral. Your jaw is clenched. Our breathing gets shallow, and our mind scans the environment instead of inhabiting our body. Even after the relationship ends, or even if you're still in it, your system keeps performing long after your mind is completely depleted and exhausted. This is why you feel drained doing things that shouldn't drain you. You're not just doing life, you're managing every emotional landmine your body was trained to anticipate. This is often why we love being alone so much. There's nothing wrong with you for preferring to be alone. In fact, it makes perfect sense. When you're alone, it's the only time your nervous system stops managing. It's the only time you aren't reading the room, adjusting your tone, or preparing for someone else's response. Being alone gives your body the one thing it rarely got in the relationship, a moment where nothing is required of you. Of course, that feels like relief. Of course, your system clings to it. It's the only state where performance mode completely turns off. But your body's goal isn't to isolate forever. That's not going to work. It's to eventually feel just as unguarded around safe people as you do when you're alone. That happens very slowly and gently through practice. So here's how to begin. Concrete, doable steps. First, I want you to name it. When you're alone and you feel that sense of relief, say to yourself, this is what it feels like when I'm not managing. Naming it helps your nervous system identify the state, the feeling that you're looking for in other situations. Then I want you to choose one person who feels relatively safe. Not your whole friend group, not your whole family, Not even a new partner necessarily, just one person whose presence feels predictable, calm, non-judgmental, low demand. Safety with one person is enough to retrain your system. Once you identify that person, pick moments to practice not managing around them. Maybe not for the whole dinner you're at or the whole conversation, just micro moments like letting your shoulders drop, letting your face soften, not feeling like you have to carry the conversation, pausing before you respond, allowing silence without rushing to fill it. Take a breath. Instead of instantly accommodating, letting your voice come out naturally instead of filtered. These are tiny acts of non-managing. All right. Then notice what happens in your body. Do you feel tense? Do you hold your breath? Do you brace? Do you check their expression? Do you scan the room? Okay, great. That's good information. Your body is showing you exactly where their survival pattern is living. Stay with those small shifts. Add to them as you feel comfortable. You don't need to overhaul your whole life and how you show up around people at one time. That's going to activate your stress response. You just need to find moments where you can tell yourself, I don't need to manage this right now. This is so important. Your body cannot feel safe if it believes it has to constantly anticipate, accommodate, or prevent threat. A no performance zone with one safe person teaches your nervous system, in this moment, nothing is required of me. I can relax. At first, this will feel strange, flat, or even uncomfortable because you're used to proving your worth through doing. But if you give your system even one pocket of permission to exist without managing, your body finally gets a taste of true rest. And rest leads to regulation. Regulation leads to capacity, and capacity leads to connection, comfort, release, and relief, eventually joy. This is how your system learns what safety feels like, so you can begin living without efforting your way through every moment. Okay, number 4, rebuild body trust through micro decisions. This is similar but a little bit different. One of the deepest wounds of narcissistic abuse is the erosion of self-trust, not just emotionally, but physiologically. When someone constantly dismissed your feelings, mocked your needs, or punished your instincts, your mind learned a brutal lesson. My signals can't be trusted. But here's the truth we don't talk about much. Your body never stops sending the signals. It's just that your mind stopped believing them. It turned off listening to your instincts. Your mind starts interpreting them inaccurately or overrides them altogether because listening to them used to create danger. So now your internal cues, they may feel muted or confusing or easy to dismiss, not because they disappeared, but because your mind protects you by filtering them out. This is why you might feel disconnected from your needs, why small decisions feel overwhelming, why you hesitate, freeze, or overthink, or second guess yourself. Your body is not indecisive. Your mind is afraid of what listening once cost you. The way back is not through big choices. Big choices feel threatening to a system that was punished for having preferences. The way back is through micro decisions because micro decisions are safe moment to moment, but they add up. So ask yourself, do I want hot coffee or cold coffee? Do I want to sit or stand? Do I want to work one more minute or go ahead and stop now? Do I want things quiet right now or do I want some background noise? Tea or water? Go left or right. These are super small things, but they do something powerful. They retrain your mind to recognize trust and follow your body's signals again. Follow your preferences. Each micro choice communicates your signals matter. I hear you and I'm responding. Micro decisions rebuild the natural pathways of self-trust. Pathways that were dismantled in a relationship where your reality was constantly overridden. Every time you make a tiny choice based on your own internal cues, your own desires, you teach your system it's safe to feel, it's safe to choose, it's safe to follow my body again. And slowly, gently, your instincts begin to come back online. This is how intuition returns, or your trust of intuition returns, not through sudden insight, but through consistent repetition of trusting your body in small and safe ways. All right, step 5, our final step is speak to your body, not about it. Most trauma survivors talk about their symptoms from a distance. I'm overwhelmed. I'm shutting down. I'm numb. I can't focus. My body won't cooperate. This distance is part of the freeze response. It's a protective mechanism, a way to observe your symptoms and what's going on without having to actually feel it. But your nervous system doesn't heal through observation. It heals through connection. A powerful way to reestablish connection is to speak directly to your body, the same way you would speak to a child who's been frightened for far too long. Try saying things like this. Hey, buddy, I know you're tense. I can feel you holding your breath. We're not in danger right now. I'm not going to abandon you. It's okay to soften. I'm here with you. This isn't fluffy woo-woo stuff. This is neurobiological attunement. Your tone of voice, your pacing, your warmth, all of it travels through the vagus nerve and signals safety faster than any cognitive affirmation ever could. Think about it. Trauma entered your system through relationship, through tone, through unpredictability, dismissal, and invalidation. Safety must also enter through your relationship, even the relationship you have with yourself, your own body. Speaking to your body creates a new internal pattern. We face things together now. I'm not abandoning myself anymore. And once your system feels accompanied instead of alone, your entire survival pattern begins to soften. This is how you shift from a body stuck in shutdown to a body that feels supported, steady, and capable of coming forward again. Okay, you have just learned the 5 powerful nervous system supported ways to help your body feel safe again after narcissistic abuse. And I want you to take a moment to notice something. If anything in you softened, or if you took a deeper breath, if your shoulders dropped even a millimeter, if your body feels seen, if you feel seen, that is evidence that your system is already responding. Your healing doesn't begin when everything is perfect, when you understand everything. It begins in these small moments when your body recognizes truth, safety, and possibility. You don't need to master all 5 of these steps. You don't even necessarily need to feel motivated or excited. Your nervous system needs consistency, not intensity. It needs small, doable actions that slowly replace a foundation of threat with a foundation of safety. Even if your progress feels very subtle, even if the changes are barely noticeable, these micro shifts accumulate over time. They are how you rebuild a body that trusts you again. And I want you to remember this. You're not healing the woman you once were. You are building the woman you've never had the safety to become. Your system is relearning what it means to live without bracing, without shrinking, without abandoning yourself. This work is how you reclaim your breath, your energy, your clarity, your desire. This work is how your life begins to feel like yours again. If this episode helped your body feel understood, if it made something inside you exhale, then I want to invite you to go a little bit deeper. Again, I created a free guide called Finally at Peace. This guide will walk you step by step through the survival patterns you've been living in, why they developed, and how to begin shifting your nervous system towards real, embodied safety. It's not just information. It is a tool you can use to support your healing every single day in gentle, doable ways that work with your biology. You deserve a life where your body feels safe to show up. You deserve clarity, energy, desire, and space to breathe. You deserve to experience yourself without the weight of survival mode. You don't have to do this alone. I'm here to walk through this with you. The link is in the description. And if you're ready for real personal support, I have 2 powerful options for you. First is my 90-day journey, where you and I work together through 12 one-on-one sessions to create deep, lasting transformation, get fully out of survival mode. And for those of you that want to work more quickly, I offer a private intensive. This is a concentrated, focused container where we work deeply and clear survival patterns super fast. You'll find the link for both of those in the description. And if this video here supported you, please like and subscribe. It is totally free to you, and that simple action helps get this information in the hands of the women who desperately need to hear it. You are not broken. You're not behind. Your system is waking up, and I'm right here with you as it does. I will see you in the next episode.